Wait a minute. There's an important question to be answered. What beer did you choose, sir?
Oh, I don't want to answer that because it's what my lady brought home, and it's not.
Who cares? I don't care if it's like Princess Ponytown.
It is very much that. It's actually exactly
Is it a seltzer?
That. It's called Lover Boy Sparkling Hard Tea, and here's the flavor. You ready for the flavor? You're not ready for the flavor. I don't even want to say it. Don't make me say it.
Please say it.
At least we're not recording, right?
No, right, exactly.
Orange chai tea. 0 sugar, 90 calorie, naturally sweetened, 4% alcohol. It's not even going to do anything. I don't even know why I got it. Should have just got a water.
Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is June 17th, 2021, and you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you can find this podcast in the galaxy, it's available. You can also watch me completely fail at video games at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
You can watch me completely fail at video games as well at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
And you can find the both of us on Twitter, but it's mostly Discord now. But I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's NickVern. And in this week's episode, we're deploying the Garrison stream team with the man, the myth, the legend, the Director Chronic himself. He's a Twitch partner. He's an awesome person, and he has his own mod of himself in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So welcome to the show, Director Chronic, and what have you been up to?
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. First of all, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Man, it's been a very exciting time. I mean, Marcus and I have been talking about this, and we kind of prioritized me jumping on the show because it's been a very exciting week. I just celebrated my 1-year Twitch anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah,
confetti. I'm throwing the confetti in the air.
Right, actually, it's getting in my eye.
Well, actually, I saw this video of this dude. He came home from work and the lady was like, his wife was cleaning the floor.
Okay.
And he had one of those like big party popper guns.
Okay.
And he party popped and confetti went everywhere. And he just held it out and he dropped it on the ground. And he's like, and you could hear it on the camera. He goes, "I'm going back to work." And she was cleaning the floor. It was the funniest shit ever. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's all. Every time I hear confetti, that's all I think about right now.
I haven't seen one of those popper confetti things in a long time. So, wow. Like even thinking about that right now.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
So exciting
1 year.
week, huh?
Yeah, 1 year. We celebrated that, and then shortly after that, we created. Now that I'm a Twitch partner, you get access.
Yeah, let's back up.
Yeah,
let's back up.
Sure,
there.
Man. I'll start wherever you want.
So before this wonderful 1 year stream anniversary,
Yep,
you became a Twitch partner.
Yes,
that's a long, grueling road.
Yeah. And you know, the road is usually actually longer for most people, and I'm very fortunate and grateful that I was able to accomplish that in under a year. Really cool thing to hang your hat on. But you know, all the thank yous and all the props go to the Garrison community, because without their support and without the wholesome, positive content that we produce on the channel, and all the awesome people that the channel attracts to it and the community we built, it wouldn't have happened. You know, I did the work obviously in the background, and I treated streaming as a fun hobby, but also I saw that there was potential that it could be more. And once I saw that and got a taste of that, I really leaned into it, and I worked really hard. And, you know, we can get, I don't know if we want to circle back to this later, or we can just dive into it now, but like there were a lot of lows with the highs too. And a lot of things I had to overcome personally, and the community had to overcome along the way. So there was heartache, and there was, you know, getting knocked off our horse and having to, you know, saddle back up. But so it just made it more sweeter in the end when it finally happened. I still see the check mark, and I'm kind of in disbelief that it happened as quick, you know, under a year. It's pretty quick to happen. At 1% or less of content creators on Twitch are partnered. So, you know, it's nothing to sneeze at, and I'm still very grateful to my community that we were able to do it.
Well, it's really special, right? Like, you earned it. And that's the thing about streaming versus other forms of content creation, is it's all about you. And like, yes, it's about your community, but you are the face of that community, and you have to generate some kind of, I don't know what I would call it, personality.
Yeah, uniqueness.
Yeah, uniqueness to get people to come to your channel and enjoy your channel. Because, like you said, 1% of people make partner. There's a lot of streamers out there that are really good that never just get noticed. So for yourself to do it, it's a huge accomplishment, and it is freaking awesome.
It really is. And we celebrated that, was almost like probably 2-ish months ago now. And then, celebrating the 1-year anniversary, and then to announce the stream team, which is a benefit of being a Twitch partner, is you can have an official stream team. And with doing that, you can invite other content creators and send them an official link, and then they can accept. And if they accept it, they get the Garrison stream team under their name, and they're on the team hub and website, and everybody has access to all the creators. And at first I was hesitant because I'm already a part of other stream teams, and I've invested time with them, and they're led by my good friend Serpent, and he's one of my best friends. We met over Twitch through streaming, and we both had a very similar journey. I mean, even from our metrics to just what we've been through, it's been almost within step of each other, almost like a marching step. Everything that's happened with him has kind of happened with me, and it was nice to go through the journey with somebody who's at the same level with you at each time, from growing and nobody knows who the hell you are in single digit viewers, to pushing it beyond that and figuring out how to be successful on each next level. And another thing I'm really, really proud of is I, throughout the whole time, going from the day I started streaming, the first day I hit go live until the day that I got Twitch partner, my channel had grown, and we had never moved the opposite way. We never moved backwards, and Serpent did the same. And we always just kept pushing and finding what worked. And it was so nice to have somebody in the journey with me that had my back, but even more than that, was like a creative outlet for me that I could talk to. And, part of that was also Mr. Boba Fett and a Warrior Nerd. We're kind of like the 4-man wolf pack, and we have a DM each other every day. We talk to each other every day about content creation, about how to move the channels forward, how to, merge the communities and put unique content out there. So, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people really don't have an inkling of what it really takes to succeed at that level with streaming. And I personally don't think that a lot of people really appreciate how much time it takes to even do the smallest of things,
I 100% understand everything you just said.
Well, I know you do. Because you're a streamer, and you're on our stream team, by the way. Can I make that announcement right now real quick?
You sure as hell can.
We kept it small. We kept it to 30 people, and that includes obviously me being on it. But Marcus is one of the 30 people that I tapped for it, and you're an awesome dude, and I'm very fortunate I met you and Chimeri, and I met Chimeri IRL here in New York City recently. I'm really fortunate for the connections I made, Marcus, and I'm really honored that you're on the team.
I appreciate that. I didn't expect that. And it's so shocking to hear that, because, hearing you talk about the lows and the highs, and like when you start in the beginning and hear about like single digits, and like, you're like, I mean, I still to this day remember the first stream, and Nick was in the chat the entire time, just chatting with me, telling me I'm an idiot. And like, I'll never forget the first stream.
It makes good content, though.
Well, that's correct. And watching it grow, and then you have your fluctuations of, the most, a high viewer count, but nobody's chatting, to the really like low viewer count, but everybody's chatting the whole stream. And you like, because for me, the one thing that I've done is turn the viewer count number off. Like, I don't want to know how many people are watching, because like, that's not what it's about.
Yep.
And for me, it's like shocking at the end of the night when you see like your Twitch summary. But what's special about your team, I mean, your channel, is you've made it so unique. And honestly, I don't actually care about Battlefront 2, right? Like you playing Battlefront 2.
Many don't.
No. You know what gets me is the fact that behind your face is Scarif. And there's goddamn TIE fighters flying behind you, and there's smoke bellowing coming up from the center of Scarif Beach. Okay? Like, that shit is legit. Okay? Like, when you play the game, I'm just like, oh, yeah, whatever. He's just, here goes the chicken.
Roger, Roger.
Yeah, exactly. Roger, which I do love Supremacy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to lie. I do fucking love Supremacy, even if it does take 40 minutes. But anyway, and just the way you did it. And when I first met you, you had a mustache. And all joking aside, when I was talking to Kai about it, hashtag Kai for partner, he's like, I was like, dude, is this dude like Dr. Disrespect's brother? Because now he's got the got the mustache. He's like got the second best mustache in all of game streaming.
I mean, that's very generous. Second, man. Woo.
But then you shaved it off.
Yeah, I did. But we shaved it off for a good cause. And if I can just speak to that,
sure.
The mustache is part of my identity. I don't know. I think lockdown, I was just screwing around my facial hair because, what else do guys do when they don't have to actually leave for work? You know what I mean? Like, we're just screw it. Let's get mutton chops. You know what I mean?
I did the exact same thing. I had a mustache. Yep, I had a mustache for a while too.
I'm way too much of a wuss for that.
And I had an office job where I ended up being on Zoom calls all the time with like chief surgeons of the whole hospital, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have a ridiculous mustache. Where they're actually going to see my face. Just it was so long, like on the edges, where I would twirl it up.
Okay, so you went old timey.
Yeah, so I have a beard too that I line up, and keep short. But then the mustache was super long. So before I was working in an emergency department and had a mask on 24/7, so no one ever saw it unless I took it off to take a sip of water or something. And then my coworkers would be like, "Oh my god, what is that, you idiot!" And then now I work in research. I work in the clinical trials office at the same hospital, and we do drug research and stuff. But I'm on Zoom calls all the time with important people, and I can't look like a
You're important, Nick.
Well, whatever. It is what it is. I'm on Zoom calls all the time, and people see my real face, not a masked face. So I was like, I probably shouldn't have this ridiculous mustache all the time, but I'm thinking about growing it back. But anyways, sorry.
See, I had the opposite dilemma, whereas I loved rocking the stash on webcam for my stream because it was great. Right. Because Marcus said, I leaned into being unique, and I took a lot of inspiration from Dr. Disrespect. He was one of the first streamers that got me into Twitch, and was because I was like, who wants to watch people play video games? I was one of those guys, and he captivated me, man. I think it's as a kid, I loved wrestling. I even did pro wrestling during college. I got trained by The Rock's uncle and literally traveled and did shows all over the East Coast. And I was a big wrestling guy. And I think I've always been captivated by larger than life personalities like a Hulk Hogan or a Macho Man. And Dr. D emulates that. And he brought that promo, larger than life character and mixed it with streaming. And I was just like, this is so cool because I moved to New York, and I got into acting and stunt work, and have done some shows and movies. And I'm I love the entertainment industry. I love, bringing that certain little bit of flavor to streaming. And I always liked that about him. And I always wanted to go that route. And the problem is, a stream that has that kind of production quality, it takes effort, it takes time, it takes finding the right graphic designers, people that understand and are copacetic with what you're looking for. And I really lucked out with my graphic designer. I actually found somebody that he was I swear, guys, I took 2 days and I reached the last page on Fiverr. And this guy had one review. So, people have hundreds of reviews, thousands of reviews. I found the guy in the last page. It took me 2 days to get to the last page. He had one review, one. But I loved his portfolio, and it captured the essence of what I wanted to do with the channel. And to this day, we are now good friends. And it started with one project, and now he has a list of stuff from me every single month. And it's just a reoccurring relationship, and he's a supporter of the channel. He hangs out in the streams now. He doesn't even know Star Wars, and he just vibes with the community and what I'm doing. And it's so nice to have a working relationship with an artist that does so much for my channel, because whatever, we can sit here and guys use our imagination and envision this and that, but if you don't have the people with the technical skills to put that vision to life, you're kind of screwed. And I won the lottery with my graphic designer, and he really gets what the vibe, and he understands the community. And when I type to him like I need this, and I storyboard it out for him, like the Scarif scene, he goes further than my expectations, and I think that really lended to it.
It's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, but it all goes back to Dr. D, man. I mean, that guy has production quality out the wazoo, I always appreciated that, and that's I like to go with what I find entertaining, but I also want to see a different take on it. It would be one thing if I had an arena and Champions Club, you know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to freaking copy people, but you could. Everything's been done. I just look at what entertains me and how can I do it in my voice and make it Star Wars in this case.
No, and I do understand, but you have to make it your own, and
Yes.
the only way you can make it your own is by doing it and learning, and like you said, click the go live. I would say the hardest part of all of this is just clicking the go live button and committing to it. Like, know that it's takes time, and you're gonna find what works and what doesn't. For me, that's my appointment. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's trial and error, man.
Yeah. But either way, it's awesome. Congratulations. We're so happy you're here. And, you picked, what I enjoy about what you picked for the Garrison stream team is there's different people at different levels in all different shapes and sizes for like what games they play.
Mm-hmm.
I was in, oh my God, I can't remember his name. It's like L something.
Marksman.
Yes. I was in a stream for a while. I was playing Apex Legends. I just dropped in, started chatting with him, and I started off immediately with, yo, teammate, let's go. And I ended up being in a stream for an hour. I love that dude. And
Great
he was just
guy.
straight murdering people in Apex Legends.
Crack.
And
It's great.
yes. And it's fantastic.
And he needs more viewers. Like that guy, like he's, like you said, we have people of all stages. Like, he's a good guy and he's great at the game. And I've known him for a long time, and that's part of the team, man. We have like other Twitch partners who are like a veteran presence, people that I thought would not be interested. Everybody that I invited, even if they had to like think it over or wait for the list of who it would be, everybody accepted the invite, and I was beyond humbled by that, by the way. We have everybody of all varieties of people, of personality, of games, of content. It wasn't just a Battlefront 2 team. It wasn't just a Star Wars even team. It was over everything. And we have like Chris Perillo, and we have Sith Lord Brit, who going more into the crafting and 3D printing and all that cool stuff and cosplay, and and everything in between, man. And it's such a unique and diverse group of people. I'm glad you noticed that, and I'm hearing that from a lot of people actually, because that was done on purpose, but I didn't know it would be as obvious of a thing. But everybody's commenting on that actually.
Well, Mac Daddy, he just hit affiliate. Tonight's his first affiliate stream.
Congrats to Mac, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Like, that's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
I remember that day. You know what I mean? And it's fucking fantastic. All right, Nick, what have you been up to?
All kinds of different things. So I'm a little all over the place today with my a week in review segment. So
This week in Nick's review.
So first things first, have either of you been following the new Loki episodes?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll keep it spoiler free. But Loki, so I've been a little bit critical of the Bad Batch in terms of Disney Plus shows. However, Loki is dramatically better. I'm loving it. I'm on the second episode. They're a lot longer. I think it's a different goal for the show. It's a different show entirely, but I'm enjoying it way more. Marcus, go ahead.
All right. So what I was going to say is, do you like Loki more because you've been dealing with Loki for 10 years on screen? So like you already know what to expect out of him. Where in the Bad Batch, it's stale. It's boring, or not boring, but like stale because they haven't fleshed out what they are yet.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I'll push back a smidge on that only because I'm going to give like a minor like 5% spoiler, right, for the first episode. If you watch the trailer, you get the gist of this. But this Loki. So you guys have seen Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Okay. DC, have you seen Avengers
No.
Endgame?
No.
What?
You've not seen?
I've never seen an Avengers movie in my life.
Oh, well, do you?
I'm not a
care
big
if
superhero guy, so you can spoil away, do whatever, man.
Hey.
I don't plan on watching it. What's up? Am I going to get attacked for this?
Get out.
He's
Yeah.
pointing to the door.
Get out.
I only watch Batman stuff, so I don't get into the Marvel stuff. And I trust me, I catch slack about this all the time. Sorry,
Well,
but anyway, please continue. I don't.
No
wanna
one's
ruin
perfect, and some people are less perfect than others.
One day, maybe, boys. One day.
Anyways, back at the ranch. The how does Kitty do it?
Meanwhile,
back at the ranch. He does it like the Clone Wars narrator. So, anyways, this particular Loki in this show is not the Loki that we've seen come full circle through the entire arc of all of the Avengers movies. So, this Loki that we're seeing takes that time jump from when he steals the Tesseract, which is the Loki right after the first Avengers movie, like 20 something movies ago. So like this Loki is an arrogant asshole. He's like complete, like, I'm going to take over everything. I'm going to backstab everybody. Like, I don't care who you are, what you do. I'm going to find a way to get the upper hand on you and take over. And you slowly start to see that guy change into something completely different than how he goes in the course of the actual movies. So because in this sort of time variance authority, TVA section, it's a different, like, it's outside of that main timeline, right? So this character can develop completely in a new way than you've seen before. So it's a similar character from what you've seen, but it goes in a completely different direction, which is why I find it particularly compelling. It's like a new character. But compared to the Bad Batch is like introduces these characters, right? They're like, hey, these are the characters. They have got the same personality traits as when you saw them in Clone Wars, and they stay exactly the same way through 7 episodes now, and nobody's changing except for Crosshair. But we won't go into that if you've not seen the Bad Batch. But that's it. And 7 episodes later, they're the exact same people. And that's like almost 3 hours of screen time. So that's what frustrates me about Bad Batch. There's no like development per se. Whereas in 2 episodes now of Loki, he's a dramatically different character and a lot of stuff is happening. There's a lot of things happening for like the greater universe. There's a lot of characters being introduced. There's a lot of characters that get introduced and then change and have because of what's happening in the story, like their character traits change. And it's a very dynamic show and it's very compelling and I'm super, super enjoying it. So please go watch it.
I'm still back at the original comment that Chronic has never seen an Avengers movie.
Oh God!
And
please,
you know what I'm thinking about right now?
No.
I'm thinking about Brutus the Barber Beefcake going around the ring, snapping the scissors, and that's all I'm thinking about is waiting for you to come down to the ring while I'm snapping scissors because you've never watched the
Avengers movie.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
But I do agree with the Bad Batch. I haven't watched it since the Baby Rancor.
Okay.
And
You're almost caught up. Then.
Yeah, I'm almost. Well, again, I do the phone thing. If you can watch a show and not touch your phone, it's a good show.
Agreed.
If you pick up your phone and unlock the screen, you have lost interest in that show and you're watching it just to watch it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not saying that I don't like the characters. I'm not saying I don't like the show, but I just feel, in my opinion, it shouldn't be a fetch quest.
So it's your own little litmus test for if you're actually enjoying the content, as if you pull your phone out.
Yeah, of course.
Like that. All right.
Well, because, again,
I'll give you an example, right? Like,
well, I'll give an example too. Go ahead.
I was going to say The Mandalorian, I never even thought about my phone.
That's correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, never, ever in a million years.
Well, that's right.
I locked it. I put it on a table next to me, and it ceased to exist for an hour or whatever until the episode was done.
Baby Rancor episode, I think A-Trax was streaming, and I pulled up his stream and had it on at a low volume.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, whatever. A-Trax's stream is way more entertaining than this episode of The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
But like,
that's not a good sign.
No, well,
not
for
at
me, I was hoping Bad Batch was going to turn into its own thing.
Mhm.
And it's what it is. It's an extension of the Clone Wars without any of the other characters. So the Clone Wars was great because every episode it was somebody else they were focusing on. So it kept you really engaged. This is like Clone Wars 2.0 with the same 5 people, and their inhibitor chips are failing, and now you have to go and like, okay, you're going to go work for me. Now you're a bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's
go to this planet, go do this, come back. Go do this, come back. Now, I'm not saying that in the last 5 episodes it's not going to heat up, or maybe this week's episode is going to be, the stir, the pot stir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Crosshair's going to almost catch him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, if they want to bring a showstopper out, where's Darth Vader in all this?
Right.
Right? Like, where's Vader? Because Vader is running amok.
Right.
And like, does he even know about this right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
like
Ventress or Ahsoka or the Inquisitors or something. Like,
Okay.
spice it up. Like,
So
let's go.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Ventress comes back, it's over for me. Like, this will be the greatest show ever.
Show
created.
redemption.
Yeah, show redemption. But anyway,
Just one Ventress appearance. That's all it takes.
dude, she's the
One
best.
scene,
One scene. That's it.
and then
Like,
she's gone forever. She'll upgrade the
that's
show
fine.
instantly for you.
Yeah, instant upgrade. She's
Dude.
the greatest ever.
He's got her lightsaber.
Yep, I do.
Do you? I don't think I knew that.
Yep. I got it for him for Christmas or
She's-
birthday.
She's
something.
so, she's anyway.
So, anyways, I think that covers my Bad Batch and Loki's
Cool.
bullet points. I did
Awesome.
like this episode. There was a slight stir of the pot, but it's still pretty lukewarm. So also we
Like a tauntaun.
like exactly. It's warmer than out here, kid. Sorry. I can't. I do a terrible Tauntaun impression. We got. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, we got Nintendo Direct this week. And we got some very cool announcements.
So that is something that was finally cool. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, like, COVID ruined gaming announcements
Yeah, because it's just like
as a
online.
whole.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
But we have all of E3 this week, so we got lots of cool things. I want to highlight the Nintendo stuff though.
Mhm. Go ahead.
I'll start with the less whelming piece. I thought it was pretty cool, but we finally got a new side-scrolling Metroid game, which is pretty epic.
Mhm.
It's a real new entry into the Metroidvania saga, style gaming saga. It's called Metroid Dread. There's plenty of new gaming mechanics. I will criticize it. Like, I know they're making it for the Switch, which can only do like 720p, but like the graphics are just terrible. They look like they're from a Sega Genesis or something. I don't know if you watched any of the gameplay or the trailers, but it was like I was pretty disappointed in that. I know it's limited hardware, but like not like 20-year-old limited hardware. You know what I mean?
So I think well, Metroid Dread I think is coming out and it's going to look the way it is. But the Switch is old now.
Yeah.
So they're either going to have to come out with a Switch 2 or they're coming out with a Switch Pro.
Right.
Like something like that. But I think with the way this world is because of COVID and computer chips and everything else that you can't get them.
Yeah.
I think that's why it didn't get announced, because they don't have enough to produce the demand. Because
they don't have enough.
look
like,
what's happened with the PlayStations and the Xboxes.
You can't get them because they
What
can't.
happened
make
with the
them.
graphic cards?
Yes.
I
Well,
want to
exactly.
get a new graphic card. It's impossible right now.
wait. What did you just say?
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. You
Oh,
need
yeah,
to.
yeah.
So you just need to talk to me
No,
after
no.
the podcast.
Okay, yeah, let's have a little
Yeah.
conversation.
Hashtag
Here.
3090.
Hey, hashtag we both have 30 series graphics
All
cards.
right. We're gonna have a conversation after.
I
We
gotta-
sure are. So, sidebar. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for
Yep.
this? Fuck you, Sony and PlayStation players. It's about time Xbox gets a win. Did you guys see that?
Damn, dude, do you get hate mail for this?
Oh yeah, all the time. Listen, it's about time. We own Bethesda. We own. Yes, I am toxic when it comes to this because I've been listening. I've been like, people are like,
Oh my
"Oh,
God.
Marcus, you just got to get us PlayStation.
Look at all the
Look
exclusives.
at all the exclusives.
Yeah.
We get everything now.
Yeah.
F you,
Last of
babies.
Us.
We've got Bethesda. Guess what's coming out? All of the games that you want to play, and you're not getting them. Boomba. Move on.
I did actually want to talk about Starfield.
Starfield is Skyrim, space, and
Dude,
boner time.
it looks epic.
Yes.
So there's like a 2-minute trailer that came out at E3, and that changed. I wasn't gonna get a console, but if this is not coming out it's coming out for PC too. Right?
every Microsoft game will be
yes.
available on PC and
Good.
Xbox exclusively. Suck it, PlayStation. Day one.
You're gonna have to wear like a
Fantastic.
wig when you go out. You're gonna
No way,
piss off
dude.
all these
No,
Sony
I'm an Xbox
fanboys,
guy,
dude.
man.
He'll wear an Xbox.
I mean, I am too.
and
I mean,
t-shirt.
I will say this: I have my day one Xbox still. Day one Xbox One, and
Wow.
it still works beautifully. And I had a PlayStation that I bought 2.5 years ago that was like in a bundle, just, PS4, already died. It got to the blinking light of death. So
Damn.
I know it's anecdotal, but I mean, my day one Xbox, I beat it up. It's been stored and thrown around, and it's still chugging along. My PlayStation that was lightly used, I only used it for MLB The Show, which is now on Xbox. The only reason I had a PlayStation was for MLB because it was the only license. Now Xbox has it, so now I have no need for it. So PlayStation died on me. I don't even want to replace it because I really don't need it for anything else. So
it's just, it's the game, right? So Sony did this, and I'm being so honest right now. So Sony bought all these things, and they're like, ha ha ha, Microsoft, you only have crappy studios. What do you have? Halo? But now they have one of the biggest development studios ever.
Yep.
And what's going to crush the world is when Elder Scrolls 6 gets actually announced and they say it's Xbox exclusive. PlayStation will lose people for that game.
Yep, 100%.
Hands down. You can have all the God of Wars, you can have all the Ratchet and Clanks and Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
It's not going to compare when Elder Scrolls 6 only goes to PlayStation.
Only goes to Xbox.
Xbox, that's what I meant.
Yeah, agreed. That is like an earth-moving game series, 100%.
Well, and now with this Starfield,
and it's from the same for if you don't know, folks, Starfield was made by the same group of developers that made Skyrim and then made Fallout 4. So and then the next project they started working on was Starfield. So it's like basically Bethesda's A team. They went and made this game, and it's supposed to be an RPG set in space. And you have just basically a teaser trailer that came out that's seems to be like, hey, you're going to be this character and you're going to explore these different planets in space, and it's going to be a fleshed out RPG similar to those games, which has me sold, frankly. It looks like the Outer Worlds, but like Bethesda's spin.
And they're saying hundreds of hours of gameplay.
I'm sold.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just excited that, it's about time that Xbox gets a really good exclusive. And I think these are going to be the beginnings of it, and they're going to see sales.
Can I say this too? Sea of Thieves, that's a Microsoft exclusive as well, right? That never came out for Sony, right? Sea of Thieves,
right.
It's PC and Xbox, and now look at this. This is about to be one of the biggest DLCs ever. Like,
right?
If you want to, I don't know if you call it a DLC, but their next update, bringing in Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean, like. You don't understand, like Sea of Thieves is already like still one of the most popular games on Twitch. People really consume that game and really enjoy it. And they're about to get smacked with the Disney hand right now and get all of this awesome new content. And I don't know, man, if you're not on PC and you're sitting on a PlayStation right now and you see, a game that's already vastly popular getting this treatment, like that's just another thing to look at and maybe be envious about.
Agreed.
Well, we watched the Microsoft, myself and Ven and our friend Kat, we all watched the Microsoft E3 announcement together. Like we were watching it and we were just chatting in the Discord chat, and we were talking about it, and I'm not a big Pirates of the Caribbean guy, but Ven was going crazy. He's like, dude, don't ever disrespect Jack Sparrow ever. I will drive to your house and beat you up. And I was like, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? But like, he's so excited for this DLC, and a lot of people are going to be. Yeah. Because anytime, like I'll go back to Loki. Yep. Anytime you have a character that's already been fleshed out and then they're putting it somewhere else, you instantly already have the likable of it.
Yeah.
Like you're already going to like it. Now they're throwing it into a game that people already love.
Right.
And now it's going to be that much bigger. And now more people are going to want to play, because who's not going to want to play as Captain Jack Sparrow?
It broadens the interest out now, because that's correct. If you saw Sea of Thieves and you're like, oh, it's just a cartoony pirate game, but you love pirates and you just never gave it the chance. Now Jack Sparrow's in it. Davy Jones is in it. You're getting these epic like ships from the movies. The Black Pearl's in the game, and like there's new tales and there's actual quests that go along with this. These new cutscenes and the adventures that you go on. And like I used to play Sea of Thieves. I don't really play it, but like, man, if it doesn't make me want to jump back in it and check it out. And I'm not even the biggest Pirates guy. Like I really enjoy the movies, but like I don't know, man. Like it's even making me chomp at the bit to get back into Sea of Thieves. So another win for Microsoft there.
Right. Me too. I honestly, I started playing Sea of Thieves a little bit with friend of the pod, Joey Feta, and it was, it was fun, but it seemed like a little bit kind of shallow to me. But
I agree.
after seeing this DLC coming on, I'm like, okay, let me go play this. It seems really cool.
Yeah, it's like seems like the good window to bring players back, as well as opening it up to a more casual, broader audience. So I think it's a double win.
Completely agree.
Win-win.
Speaking of double wins, to wrap up my E3 sort of update here, we got to look at the Breath of the Wild sequel for Zelda. It looks pretty epic. If you haven't seen it, I will give you the sort of synopsis of the trailer that we saw. Basically, it looks like it opens up with a shot of Link like free falling, like he's skydiving onto like these sky islands. If you're thinking of like Columbia from the BioShock Infinite game, it's basically like that, where like these chunks of landmass are in the air from Hyrule. It looks like Ganon that was in the bottom of Hyrule Castle like broke up all of the landmass in Hyrule and just kind of flung it into the sky, and now it's floating there in different chunks, which is cool. You also see some interesting new abilities. You have that stasis ability where you could freeze time in Breath of the Wild. That looks like now you can reverse time as well. So in the trailer, you see him catch a boulder with that ability and then fling it back up the hill that it was rolling down, which is pretty interesting. And then also he sort of jumps underneath one of those, we'll call it like a floating platform, and like warps through the platform and then goes on top of it. So you could like jump up into something and then warp right through it to get on top of it, which is kind of an interesting ability. I'd imagine this is almost like you're going to get a lot more platforming and a lot more like dynamic movement in this game than you did in Breath of the Wild per se. You start to get a lot more of the Z axis rather than the X and the Y. Right.
Well, they got to do something that is bigger and better than the last one.
Right.
They can't just do the same thing over. So I never finished Breath of the Wild because I hate the weapon mechanic.
The weapon breaking mechanic,
But this time I think I want to play it on day one because I feel like then I'm going to be along with everybody else. So there's going to be no cheat code. There's going to be no guides. There's going to be nothing for me to ask anybody. It's going to basically be me texting Nick going,
how did you do this?
Did you go north or did you go south? Did you go east or west? And then, I went north. Fuck, I went south. Oh, shit. Okay. And then, like, just conversate about the game like we used to talk back when the games first came out and we would play them at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
draw hand-drawn maps and stuff.
Exactly. Like, holy shit, I got to remember I was here because I got to pick up this, but I don't have enough stamina to climb that wall. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. It's interesting.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm rude as shit.
Go ahead. We all know that. We're 110 episodes in. You're not any less rude than episode 1.
Definitely more rude.
But that's what I mean.
Yes. Anyway, but here's the caveat. I am a graphical resolution
schnob.
Yes. And if there's a new Switch, but you can't get one, but because I have a feeling Breath of the Wild launches with a new Switch. That's going to be the launch game.
That would make sense.
100%. That's going to be the launch game, just like they did with this one.
Yep.
And it's going to decimate everything. You won't be able to get a Switch, and I won't get it until you get the new one because I won't want to play it on the GameCube graphics when there's
a Wii graphics.
A Wii U.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
Wait, speaking of Wii games, we're going in the Wayback Machine. I never played Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword because it was like motion controls and stuff, and I hated that. But they just remastered it, and if I know anything about that game, there's a lot of flying mechanics. So if I had to guess, this is sort of tying into that flying mechanics, like lots of 3D in the air type of stuff going on. I think that was on purpose that they remastered Skyward Sword right before they announced this game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I think, Skyward Sword is the other filler because last year was Age of Calamity.
Right.
Which is like the Dynasty Warriors game, and it was like the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Right.
I think Skyward Sword is just a filler to get people through until the new Switch, and then I have a feeling Ocarina of Time will be remastered for the new Switch. Boom.
That would be great.
Moving on.
Oh, speaking of Ocarina of Time, last thing, and then I want to get to your week because we're droning on a little bit. This game, at least in the 2 trailers, has a definitively darker vibe.
Yeah, like Majora's Mask.
Yeah, so
versus Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, like if Breath of the Wild is Ocarina of Time, then this game seems like the Majora's Mask version, where it's got a definitively darker tone to it, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. It should be pretty cool. So that being said, Marcus, how's it going? And what have you been up to?
It's unbelievable. I'm putting my hand over the mic because I'm so excited. I'm so excited, dude.
You get all the ASMRs.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
This
Tickling
is
my ears.
yes. Everybody, I cried this week. Like legit cried.
Wow.
So, so many so everybody knows I got hurt at work, and it was a fucking tough week. And then I'm going to tell this little story. So we've talked about this a lot because Nick has confirmed this. So once you're like in with me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that friend that doesn't go away. Even if you want me to go away, I don't go away.
Yeah, Marcus is like the herpes friend.
Oh, that's so fucking rude.
He just keeps coming back.
That's so fucking rude.
You're the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my god, that's like that could be the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
What do you mean?
It's endearing in a way.
Yeah, it's a
In a
great
way.
it's a great
No.
quality in a friend and a terrible quality in an STD.
Oh my god.
There's some truth to what he just said. It sounds weird, but there's truth to it.
Anyway,
Back at the ranch.
okay, so once I decide that I want to let them in, they're going to have no choice but to let me in.
Yeah.
Because I'm that friend that just, hey, how's it going? And you're like, the fuck? Who is this person?
It's 2 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, like what? Why is this guy messaging me or calling Kai Guy and leaving him a fucking voicemail?
Oh,
my voicemails
God.
are epic, by the way.
Marcus leaves the most epic voicemails.
Ever. If you're ever down in the dumps, just call me and then hang up, and I'll call you back and then send me to voicemail, and your voicemail will be amazing. Note to self, to anybody: you want to cheer up your day? Let me leave you a voicemail. But anyway, so I start talking to Chronic, and I'm a pretty personal dude, and I kind of said some stuff to him, and I was like, dude, like, when is this stream team gonna come? And he's never mentioned that shit to me at all. And he's like, dude, I'm really frustrated. This fucking guy already has the name. I'm like, well, message him. And he's like, what? And I'm like, just message the guy. Tell him you want the name. Call Twitch. Tell him, give him a different name, and then do it. He's like, you think he'll do it? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Fucking do it. So sure shit. What does Chronic do? Messages the guy. The guy gives up his name. Hashtag everybody on this planet listening to the show, please go to twitch.tv/rake. RAKE. Give him a follow. Drop him a sub. Drop him 10 bits. I don't care. Show him some love. Give him the hashtag the Garrison. Thank you. Whatever it is, show that dude some love. Anyway, so he gave Chronic the name.
Yep.
And Twitch has a very firm policy on 2 Twitch team names. That's it.
Yeah.
And you don't ever get them back.
Yeah.
And he
But-
relinquished his second team name to me.
How fucking cool is that?
That's really cool.
There's not really, it sounds like, why would this be such an impactful thing? But kind of restored my faith in humanity that this guy, I wrote him a message late at night, and I just DM'd him over Twitch and was just like, hey man, my name's Director Chronic. I recently became a Twitch partner. Obviously this guy's partnered as well. That's how he has a stream team. And he has his number 1 stream team, and then he had the Garrison, but he wasn't doing anything with it. There was 0 members on it. He wasn't even a member on it.
Wow.
So it was just sitting there idle. And I told him, I was like, I'm about to make a stream team, and I'm really pressed on the name, and I put it off because I can't find anything else. My community name is the Garrison, and I know I can't help but notice that you have this secondary team, and it's kind of going idle. And I was like, I know this is a long shot, and I know that it would be a pain in the ass to have to do this. But if you could, if you're okay with parting ways with it, I would really appreciate it. And I know my community would be forever grateful if you were able to do it. I was like, I ended it with, I know this is a long shot, and I already appreciate you for reading this far. I was like, I hope you have a good night, DC. and I just hit send. And I woke up the next morning and I had one message sitting in my Twitch DM inbox, and I clicked it and it was him, and it said one sentence, and it said, "It's done, homie." And it was the next message was the edit link for me to take ownership.
Wow.
Boomba.
What a cool dude.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/rake.
Marcus and I went in there and blew up a little bit on him in the best ways possible. We went in there and, paid it forward. I feel like a lot of people would have just been like, yeah, like, woo, like this guy really hooked me up. And then they just go about their life. But Marcus, I think Marcus and I have the same thing in common, where somebody takes care of you, you take care of them. And I didn't ask him. I was already planning on doing this. I didn't know Marcus was gonna do what Marcus did, but he went in there and definitely thanked him and Marcus's way, and I went in and did the same, dropped some gifted bombs and stuff.
I brought in a one-man hype train.
Yeah, you did, and I followed you shortly after once I was awake and I saw you was streaming, but you just really don't find people like that. What a selfless move, and Marcus, I remember ahead of time, Marcus, you were like, well, everything has a price. You're like, maybe we can buy it off. I'm like, I don't want to like offer this guy money for a stream team name. And thankfully,
I would have.
Yeah, I wouldn't have allowed that.
Do not.
No,
there is no try.
But how selfless and how awesome. And, we went in and did a little thank you gesture. And I don't know, man, that really, you meet a lot of, great people and you meet a lot of toxic people. But when you meet people that are just completely selfless and really cool like that. Like he came in my stream the other day too, and it was great because I got to call him out in front of the whole chat and said, "This is the guy who made the Garrison possible, like the stream team." And and we have a salute emote that we like to spam, and I asked them to salute to him, and I mean my chat flooded. I mean, I'm talking 1,000 salute emotes from ton of people, and it was really a cool moment.
And then. So I was doing whatever I was doing, and I never expected anything. And I get this. It's so funny when you get a message from somebody that like you talked to this person before and it's not like worded like that. And then all of a sudden you get the professional message.
You get the professional email message.
Yes. And I was like, "Dear Marcus." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I gave him the bot message.
Yes, the bot message. Yeah, I got the bot message. And I'm like, I was reading. I was
call
like,
me out on that.
And I was like, "The fuck is this?" Insert name here, Mad Libs. We will, go to, what is that attorney website? Oh shit.
Attorney website?
Yeah, no, like
LegalZoom.com?
It's like a LegalZoom document, right?
Yeah, my lawyer came up with that.
Yeah, just fill out this name. Just insert name here. But anyways, so it asked me to join, and I just stared at my screen for like a minute, and it was like, "Don't tell anybody." And I stared at the screen for a minute, and I was like, "Okay." Screenshot, Nick, here you go. Like, Nick's not saying anything to anybody.
I'm under
you're under NDA with Marcus.
Double NDA?
Yes. So anyway,
quadruple NDA.
Like legit, like I'm gonna talk about myself.
Of course.
I have my own personal goals, but I put everybody else's before mine. Right? Like I just want to help everybody because we have this podcast and we have like I have my stream, but like I want people to like watch everybody else. I want everybody's channel to be bigger than mine. Like I don't need my channel to be huge. I want everybody else's channel to just grow. And like I enjoy watching that happen. And then so like I never thought of like this. And I had a really bad experience with a stream team. We're not going backwards with negativity, but it wasn't for me. And I was like, nope, not again. And friend of the show, Serp, he's got a stream team, and I kind of like was like at that point I was just over with the other stream team, and I never even asked or anything because like I was just like whatever. I just need to focus on everybody else and just keep going live. And when Chronic asked me, like hit here, you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like it hit me because I was like, why the fuck would he ever want me on his team? And I'm talking about him in the third person, like he's not here. But anyway, like, why would you want
everything?
No, I know you are. I'm in your head. But anyway,
I am hearing all.
I am your conscience.
Yes.
You need to stop masturbating 4 times a day.
Especially before we go live.
Yes.
Just cut it
No,
back
that's
a
what
little.
calms you down. That's what calms
Yeah.
you down. Anyway, and I was just like, wow. Okay, and immediately I told Nick, I don't deserve this. Like, what the fuck? But
I
like,
was
But
like,
you
fuck
do. I
you,
hate
you-
hearing you or anybody in general talk like that because
Me too.
it wasn't a handout. It wasn't a fucking. Can I curse on this show?
Of course you can. We've
have
done-
you listened to my voice?
I'm sorry,
all
no,
the-
I don't hear curse because listen, man, I'm from Philly. It's part of my language. I don't even hear it. But anyway, all right. So I mean, listen, dude. Like I wouldn't have fucking sent you an invite if I didn't think you were worthy of being on the team. Like that's just crazy talk.
All right. Well, thank
What were
you
you
very
gonna ask
much.
me? Sorry.
Are you a Flyers fan?
No.
Thank God.
I'm a Phillies and unfortunately from last night a Sixers fan. But
That's okay.
those are my only Philly teams.
Okay.
Hey, wait, you don't. What's your football team?
Dallas
Giants.
Cowboys.
Oh, you poor bastard.
What,
Yeah,
what do you
exactly.
mean?
And
They
I
were the
grew
great-
up outside of Philly with the worst, most toxic fan base for football. And I say this with endearing pride because, like, trust me, I'm on that side with the Phillies and the Sixers. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's weird being with them, but then against them for football. But, man, that was a rough childhood being a Cowboys fan outside of Philadelphia because
Yeah, but,
Eagles
like, the
fans are not good with that. Trust
No,
me.
right,
they're
but
not.
like the Cowboys were great. The 90s, they owned
Yeah.
the 90s.
That's true.
And the 2000s,
It
the
was the Cow-
2020s were the good old New England Patriots.
What up?
Mhm.
Anyway,
2010s and 2020s. What up?
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag 6 rings.
Yeah. Anyway,
Listen, I'm happy with 5. I just, I was 10 years old when they last won one. So
yeah, that's okay. But
Yeah.
anyway, all I'm saying is, I was humbled. But then, okay, nerds community showed up yesterday.
Yep.
The shit was crazy. The stream has been out of control in the weirdest of ways. Like, I personally love when the stream just chats with me and when they try to distract me from my rating.
Yep.
Because I wiped the group. Like, they fucking broke me last night. I killed the group 7 times in a row. And I was saying sorry to the team. Like, guys, I'm so sorry I'm fucking this up. Like, I'm just standing there taking all the stupid and I'm just dying. And they're like, Marcus, you died from that again. I'm sorry. I can't even concentrate right now. They're like, why? And I want to tell them because the stream is going out of control. But
Just like ding,
Yeah.
ding.
yeah, like just
ding.
everybody. And, and it's just a big thank you to everybody. And to top it off, I hit 700 followers last night.
What up?
Congrats, man.
700.
Yeah, so it's official. I'm on the road to 1K, and it's pretty exciting, man. It's so cool, and thank you, everybody. Like, words don't even come close to my thank yous enough for clicking me instead of somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that somebody chooses to watch me play video games over all the other awesome streamers in the world, that shit is humbling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is,
But I did get the Truffle Shuffle shirt. So do you know what the Goonies are?
of course,
Okay. So
classic.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I have like a giant channel point thing, and it's only been redeemed once by Kogus. And
Of course.
yes, and it's me doing the Truffle Shuffle on stream. But I was scrolling through Instagram, and you know how they have those stores, and it's like they knew I liked it. And they have a Hawaiian shirt that's with the guy from the Goonies doing the Truffle Shuffle.
It's fantastic.
I bought the shirt. I think I'm going to wear it Saturday, and I was going to wear it Tuesday, but my Garrison shirt came in.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it looked good on you, man. That's you picked the good colors.
yeah, it's a Scarif blue.
Perfect.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, it's the actual that's the authentic shirt. The black is not the authentic. You have to have the Scarif blue.
Jeez, I better get on that.
You should.
You
probably have a-
bro on my
yeah,
own merch.
Yeah, you probably have a good discount code. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
other than that, thank you everybody. The stream is awesome. You guys are all awesome. The stream team is fantastic. Actually, like, I didn't know anybody that was on the team. Like, it was like, because my biggest
well,
thing
you,
was
you
like,
know people, but
well,
you
you knew
didn't
a
know
couple
who. You
people.
didn't know.
no, I didn't know who was on the team.
You
I
know-
know the
Oh, I
people
got
on the
you.
team.
I
You know what I
got
mean?
you.
Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
asked
yeah,
for like who's on the team, and I got crickets. Like, Chronic saw it, and he was just like,
I wasn't telling anybody.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
even
no,
nobody knew.
exactly. No. I wasn't mad. I was just like, all right, I'm going in blind. But my
That's
first
pretty
question,
cool. And then you learn and you look around. And you're like, oh my god, this is great.
yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
for me, the one question I had was how many people are going to be on the team?
Yeah.
Because for me,
What did I answer to you? When
you told me
asked that?
20s.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And for me, like my number one rule of a team is if it gets too big, I'm out. It's nothing against anybody, but like I like the personal, close knit group of people that are actually motivated to help people. And once a team gets bigger than that, it's really hard for people to support all of those people.
Yeah.
Right. It gets very muddied. And, there's stream teams out there that do have almost 100 or even more members.
More than that.
And it's just like, because you can invite, I think, up to 1,000 or maybe, I don't know. It could even be unlimited. But the point still stands after a certain number, though. It's just virtually impossible to support everybody. You know what I mean? And, another little thing I took consideration on was like, I know like people don't think this technically a lot. And trust me, I went with quality of the person, trustworthiness, content, and if they were a smaller streamer, potential for the smaller guys. And then low on that priority list, but it was still on the priority list was hours that they typically stream. Because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like I didn't have all daytime streamers and everybody's live at the same time, and it's just the water gets so muddied that everybody, the support is spread thin. So in the back of my head with everything, that was a smaller thing, like I said, further down the priority list. But I wanted to get people that were live at all different times, and get some late night guys, got some early morning guys, early afternoon, and then evening, and it's just I don't know, and I just wanted to keep it cohesive, and I wanted it so that everybody could actually get to know each other and actually support each other, because when there's 100 people, it's too daunting. I capped it at 30, and we're at 30 if you include me, and I feel like that's a great starting number. I feel like I can manage that. I know the people, and you guys are getting to know each other. Like without me even doing anything, I'm like in everybody's channels, and I'm like watching. You guys are like rating each other, and I'm in the background just like gifting. Like when you guys visit each other for the first time, I gifted like subs and here and there, like gifting team members subs to the other team members' chats when they would enter, and it was just like a big heartwarming moment. And it's like in a industry or whatever you want to call streaming that is like, like we were talking, Marcus, there's a lot of downs and there's a lot of shitlords that you meet and stuff, but there's a lot more quality people out there. And when you get really good quality people all in a tight knit group together that all have a similar goal to help support each other, have each other's backs, and have actual respect for each other's content, and want to help those that need it, and watch everybody do it already or it's only been 2 days and you guys are already doing it on your own. I'm not anybody's boss. I don't want my name on the top of the list. I want to blend in and be a part of the herd with you guys and all be equal and do this thing as a team. And to see the camaraderie right out of the motherfucking gate is one of the best things I've ever seen on Twitch.
No,
Hell yeah.
Well, for me, I agree with everything you just said. And right now I want to hit go live. Like, I'd like to go live right fucking now just to go fucking bananas on this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, watching that video, like, I know the people in...
Great video, by the way. Sam, our video editor, just destroyed it.
Shout out to Sam.
What up, Sam?
Big shout out.
So, and you can find Sam editing at, I don't know, Sam the editor.
Samuel Molt, Moult. Fine British lad.
All right, great. So, it's off. You got to flip it around and see the little thing. It's actually not too bad, Nick. Sorry. Nick found my son's lightsaber that I got him at Disney.
Oh, yeah.
It's fuck. Anyway, so the ADHD is strong in this house.
Hell yeah. So Marcus handed me, I'm like a toddler.
Oh,
Marcus handed me a Joy-Con about 10 minutes into the show, and I have not stopped clicking the buttons. Like just a Joy-Con for the Switch. I'm just click.
It was anyway. So can I just say this?
Yeah.
Like when I found out like some of these people on the show, I mean on the team, I was like, oh my God, these people are in my stream anyway. Or I check out their streamer. Holy shit, they stream?
Or they've been on the podcast.
No, like the biggest one was there was a couple of them that I was like, wait a minute, they stream? I didn't know that, but they're in my stream saying hello. And I've never shouted them out. Now I feel really bad.
Yeah.
And now like
happens.
Yeah, and now like
a lot.
Well, yeah, there's so many people, and like you don't know, and it's
don't know when they start streaming too. And I always feel guilty too. I'm like, oh, like I see them raid somebody, and they're they just started, so it's like a small raid, but still, it's the first time that you have an inkling that they were streaming. Dude, I've been doing this for like over a year now, and it's like it's crazy. Somebody be in my chat every day, and I don't even know that they started streaming, and you can't feel bad about it. Usually what I just write to them is just like, oh man, when did you start streaming? I didn't know. I just dropped you a follow. I'll definitely be in there soon, and then build the rapport up from there. But don't feel bad about that.
I am
people pick up the streaming baton out of nowhere, and props to them. They don't self-promo it and they don't push it in your chat, which is a compliment to them. Like if you don't know they're streaming, they're doing it right. Does that make sense? Like if you have somebody that's in your community and you didn't know they're streaming, that makes me want to follow them even fucking more, because the people that start streaming and are like, I'm streaming, or like you're raiding and they're literally live typing in your chat. They're like, hey, why don't you raid me? I'm live right now. Like that's so obnoxious and self-promo-y, and no streamer wants to see that in their chat. But it's the ones that quietly start, that don't like embellish it and self-promo it. Those are the ones that I'm curious about. I want to check them out, because they're doing it right. But anyway, sorry. Back to the farm, or whatever you guys like to say.
Please don't ever apologize for a sidebar.
Yeah, the sidebars are like the best.
Been a lot
part
of sidebars, though.
Yeah, but that's the best part of the show.
That's the whole. That is the show.
The whole premise of this show is all of us are sitting around on a couch,
like drinking a beer,
smoking chronic, whatever, smoking cigars, whatever your flavor is. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. You want to eat a ham sandwich, eat a ham sandwich. But like we're just hanging out on a couch. That's the whole thing. And when Nick and I talk, we bounce all over the place. But anyway,
nice.
It's amazing. And shout out to all of the Garrison, because now that like we're teammates, now it's just like we're even more friends. Like incoming voicemails. Like Discord needs.
Kai told me about them over when we had burgers here in the city the other day. He was like, Marcus leaves me the craziest voicemails. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Voicemails?
Sometimes I don't answer just so he leaves me a voicemail.
Watch this.
Like I really need to talk to him, but screw it.
Mark's like, call me right away. It's super urgent. Voicemail. And I'm just kidding.
No. If I say it's important,
I answer obviously. But
yeah, Chronic, I just sent you my phone number. If you ever get the need of doing anything and you need a fucking funny voicemail or just some pump up energy, there it is. Just fucking make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
I
heard too much about it.
One of my favorite games Marcus and I play, speaking of phone calls, is we never try to answer the phone with hello. It's always like, hi, you've reached Nick's lightsaber repair services. How can I help you?
My favorite is I'm a douchebag.com. You're speaking to Marcus. How can I help you? Yeah, so that's
or the voicemail will be something effective like, hi, this is Marcus from Dr. Johnson's herpes clinic. Your STD results have come in.
Wait a minute. Fuck off.
You have
You're bringing
all of
the herpes back. No, we're a fucking hour past that moment. All right, we're never going back there.
I feel like there's going to be at least one more call back to herpes by the time this is over.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my God, I hate you both. Anyway, so my last thing I'll say is I'm completely and utterly addicted to Destiny 2. Yes, I was actually talking about me playing games.
I forgot. Okay, so your segment.
Yeah, so Destiny 2 is amazing. Yep. I love that game. Here's the problem.
Okay.
I refuse to stream it. I believe through and through, this is my own opinion, if you want to be successful on Twitch and you play a game, you should it's really hard for me to grasp playing multiple games, because like for me it's hard to, how do you grow a community when you're constantly changing games? It's hard for me to grasp that, and I talk about that all the time. Yeah. So I only stream SWOTOR. I do play other games, but I only stream SWOTOR because I feel like that gets people to come see me play the game that they play, and then eventually if I decide to play something else, they're going to come with me. Right. And I feel like that is what I owe the community. So I stream SWOTOR, but I play other games. But the problem is I'll finish raiding at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
And then you'll be
and then I'll play Destiny 2 with my friends until like 1 a.m. Okay, so I'm trying to get this goddamn sword. And the shit that this game makes you go through to get a sword, it's incredible. Mind you, the graphics, okay, 120 frames a second at 4K looks amazing.
Yeah, especially on the 3090.
Yeah, but here's the problem. My i9 9900K is gating what the 3090 can actually do. I have it boosted to like 4.6 gigahertz, but it's still gating the 3090 to do what the 3090 does.
Wow.
So I want
you want a new processor that's better than a 9th gen i9?
Yes.
You greedy fuck.
Yes.
You kidding me?
No,
How much was that processor?
I don't know, but it'll end up in your computer.
Oh, your i9.
No.
yeah.
Actually, you have a really good.
I was gonna say I have a 10th gen i7.
Or
I think,
I'll just like donate it to somebody who's trying to build a streaming PC or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
In SOTOR news, nothing to mention here. Crickets. Hey, BioWare, wake up. It's your 10th anniversary. EA Play is coming in 1 month. Please give us some news about what this 10th anniversary is, because we're all falling asleep and I'm already done with the Galactic Seasons. So let's step it up. Thanks, BioWare. Marcus out.
In AIE news, we conquered CZ-198 in Total Galactic War.
It was so awesome. Like, usually when we do Total Galactic War, for anybody that doesn't know what it is, there's a once every like 3 months, they unlock every planet and guilds can go after each planet to try to conquer them with doing objectives in the game to gain points. Well, when they do that, we look through and we save like analytics of like what other planets and guilds do during these weeks, and we pick a planet that we think we can win. Most of the time, it's a really close race.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're like grinding to do it and do it and do it, like grinding points. This time, like, we came out of the gate with like 28 million points and we just conquered. And like, we ended, I think, at like 60 million or 70 million points, but like the other guilds didn't even come close to us. So we won CZ-98, the planet, which is fantastic. So now I think we've conquered 4 of the planets. Like, some of them will never win, but that's okay. But it's really fun. And our little guild is winning.
Speaking of which, Tuesday nights are our mandatory fun night, where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. And that runs from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we flop back and forth between the Imperial or real side of things and the Sunshine and Rainbows Republic side. Also, Fridays are the place to be in motherfucking AIE. The first Friday of every month is Master Mode Flashpoints. We're going through the hardest Flashpoint content you can do. The second Friday of every month is Hard Mode Training. And this week in particular, we ran Story Mode Ops and Hard Mode
Taboro's Courtyard, which was the Golden Poodle.
I die a lot on the Golden Poodle.
Yeah, so because of the Total Galactic War, we just wanted to generate as much points, and most of the time we'll do like a hard mode training where like maybe we'll clear one boss the whole night and like teach people mechanics that they might not know and do all those things. But this time I was like, all right, we're going to do some easy stuff so we can really get the points on the board. And I think the team came out with over 2 million points just from those 2 hours, which was really good.
So the third Friday of every month is achievement hunting. That is Datacron hunting. That is all of the nooks and crannies and weird achievements you haven't gotten before.
Nerf Herder.
The Nerf Herder achievement, indeed. If you haven't got it, we will help you. That is the third Friday of every month. And the fourth Friday, that is 4 Fridays. That is Friday. It's Mega, the monthly Epic Guild activity, where we'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
You know, the shit does not get old.
It's great.
Yes.
So what are we doing this month for Mega?
You know what's so funny is I've been so busy. I
haven't figured it out yet.
No, I haven't.
It's a surprise Mega.
And it's next week.
It's Friday, June 25th.
You know, when he says that a million times, I know he has to pee.
That is true. So if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, jump on our Discord, the link for which you can find in the top right-hand portion of the website, aie-guild.org. Jump on our Discord, ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars, The Old Republic, or any of the other games we play. We would love to have you. And without further ado, I do have to pee, so we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're deploying the Garrison. Let's get into this. We want to ask lots of questions of Director Chronic here.
Can I start? I'd like to start.
Of course you can.
Chronic, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
We asked this of everybody. It's a point-blank question.
Palpatine.
Oh! Unique answer.
Yeah, this is it? You got to tell us why.
Oh, One of the big things is everybody talks about how it's like the journey of the Skywalkers, and it's like their trilogies and all this. But I'm like, I don't know, man. Like from my perspective, it's kind of a saga about Palpatine in a way, and I don't know if that's considered a hot take, but
Not at all.
I mean, I think what happens to the galaxy and the overall wider big picture political implications, everything. More lives and fates are decided from Palpatine than any other character in Star Wars, and I'm a big villain guy. Even as a kid, I rooted for the bad guys. Even remember we talked about pro wrestling, I rooted for the heels. When I watched Disney movies, I rooted for Jafar. I rooted for Scar. I was a weird kid, man. I don't think it's weird now that I'm an adult because I look back and I just found villains to be more interesting, more entertaining, less 2D. They were more fleshed out characters, and Palpatine is no different. And there's no mincing this, but I'm a huge dark side guy, big Empire guy. So there's a little bit of bias to it as well, but I don't think there's any character as pivotal as Sheev Palpatine in all of Star Wars, and that dates back to him as a senator, coming from Naboo,
Yep.
all the way to his resurgence and creation of the Galactic Empire, all the way, if you want to pan it all the way to how the sequel trilogy ended, to his resurrection at the end of that. He's just always been, in my opinion, my little humble opinion, he's been honestly the most pivotal character in Star Wars, and for me, the most interesting. And I remember being a kid, and the version of Star Wars I saw, it wasn't the original. It was the original actor of Palpatine who did the hologram. Talk about it was actually the girl with the weird things on her eyes or whatever, and then you finally see him for real in Return of the Jedi and a little bit Empire, and it's just. I remember the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because, listen, you watch Darth Vader, right? Which is probably a lot of people's answer for favorite Star Wars character, right?
No.
You're a kid, and no, okay,
We've never gotten a Darth Vader.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I would think a lot of people would say Anakin/Vader,
Well,
but
Anakin is different than Vader.
True. Okay, fair. But back to the point though, like you as a kid, you see this Vader character, and he's so powerful and intimidating and cool and badass, and everything. And from James Earl Jones' voice to everything about Vader is really cool. He's a cool character, and wow, man, to see, and he's scary and intimidating. And as a kid, I remember being like, he's a little scary. I watched Star Wars when I was really little, and I was like, oh my god. And then to see this big baddie that you think is the number one evil bad guy, right? And to see him physically kneel down and call somebody else master, made the hair on my forearms and my neck stand, because here's this big, omnipresent, scary looking dude, and he was bowing down to this other presence. And when I say that captivated my imagination on what the Emperor was and who he was, boy, oh boy, it's all I wanted to know about. I wanted to know more about who made this Vader guy kneel down. And that stuck with me my whole life. And then growing up, I was fortunate to watch the prequels at a young age with my brother and my dad in the movie theaters. And, I didn't really understand the political stuff going on because I wasn't old enough to really get what was going on. I remember being confused. I was like, wait, because I saw clones and I thought they were stormtroopers, but they were good guys. And I remember like the kid in me, I didn't understand quite what was going on. But now as I watch the prequels as an adult and stuff, and I see how Palpatine used the Senate and the war as pretty much pawns in his overall scheme. I don't know, man. He's the guy for me.
I totally get it. Have you read the Darth Plagueis book?
I have not.
Oh my God!
I just finished Catalyst because I'm obviously the Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie, tied with Empire. So I read Catalyst. I
never read that one.
Oh, please get on Catalyst. You'll get so much more depth on Galen Erso, Director Krennic, Jyn Erso, even though she's young in the book. But great book, man. It talks all about the building of the first Death Star, all the politics and the Empire that was going on.
I heard it was very politics driven. It's not an action packed story.
No, it is not. And I don't mind that. I didn't mind that because when the action happened, it was really intense. Then it would cool down. And I find the character development and the political parts very interesting. And that's me. But
I don't mind the politic heavy stuff. I like some of my favorite book series for Star Wars content is the Thrawn trilogies, plural. But what I wanted to say is I agree completely. Or I not agree, but I can super relate to liking Palpatine. It's some of but you need to definitely go read and or listen to the Darth Plagueis book because that's Palpatine's master.
yeah, I will crack that open for sure. I just started Tarkin actually.
That's a good book.
I figured it was a good parlay from Catalyst because a lot of a lot of the politicking was Krennic and Tarkin,
right.
fighting over the Death Star project.
So. Do you do the Audible?
No, I read. I'm an old fashioned page turner guy.
See, you're missing out, man.
I think you should get on.
Yeah,
it.
dude.
I honestly think it adds a lot.
Are you guys here to convert me,
dude? Like,
are you the Mormons at my door? Knocking. Just asking.
No, we're not knocking. We're just saying, like, I like to read. I don't have a lot of time to read, right?
Yeah.
If it's a really good book, I'll read it. But like for me, Mark Thompson, Jonathan Davis, when they read the Bane book or any of the other books, and they have their own voices. Like Thrawn does not. My Thrawn is not what you guys see on or hear on Rebels.
Yeah, my
right?
Thrawn,
my Thrawn is Mark Thompson Thrawn.
Agreed.
100%. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna ask you something that might be a stupid question.
There's no such thing.
All right. Do you feel though, like when you were listening to it, that you're losing the essence of like? Because I look at reading as like it's still an educational journey. Like I'm the guy that if I don't know a word, and this is because I was an English major at Penn State, and I don't know, man. I got this habit of if I'm reading a book and I don't know the word, I look it up on my phone and grab it in the dictionary, and that's how I continue to increase my vocabulary, and I treat reading as like a way now that I don't go to school anymore and I'm an adult and I work all the time and I can't really stretch my brain. Do you guys find that you lose some of the educational value of reading because you're listening to it?
Of course you're going to lose some of that, but
the entertainment value
or when you're I don't, so
of course
you're like, for me, my drives to work are a podcast or a book. Yeah. When I'm working in my shop, spraying cabinets or building cabinets, and I have my noise proof headphones on with the microphone in front of my face like a trucker, but like I'm listening to a book or a podcast. And I feel like I immerse myself into it because what's different about the Star Wars books than any other book series that I know of is you have all the sounds of Star Wars. TIE fighters flying by you here, and then they shoot. And like
sound effects too.
Yes.
Oh yes, and it's full.
I didn't know that. I'm learning.
It's full like movie quality, like sound effects production.
Yeah, yes.
I didn't know it. I honestly had no idea it went that detailed. I didn't even know that they voice acted the characters.
And listen, and I'm just gonna say, if you have if you download Audible, you'll get one book for free.
And I think if we recommend you a book that we already have, then you get that book for free also.
Oh my god, dude!
Like, what would be a good intro book?
I mean, the Darth Plagueis book, if that's something you like.
Yeah. So like,
that's up my alley.
Right. So if the Emperor is your jam, then
that's his origin story.
This is his origin story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or for me, I'm more of a Legends guy.
Yeah.
So like,
well, me too.
I'll get to there. Yeah. So like, for me, the greatest book ever written is Heir to the Empire, because that was the first Star Wars anything written after Return of the Jedi, like 15 years later. You know what I mean? So like, that's when Thrawn was originally created, and Mark Thompson reads it, and like Mark Thompson, his Han is like, you're like, holy shit, is that Harrison Ford?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mark Thompson's a great voice actor.
So like for me, I'm more of a Legends guy. But like, so the best trilogy, one of the best trilogies ever written on paper, is the Darth Bane series.
That is my favorite character from all of Star Wars, is Darth Bane.
Oh wow!
And if you're not familiar with Darth Bane, he is the one who instilled the rule of two originally. So the transition from the Sith of the Old Republic, where it's lots and lots of Sith, and you have the Sith army, and there's Sith all over the place. That transition from them working in the shadows, and there's only two Sith, and there's Master and Apprentice, the rule of two, that starts with Darth Bane. And if you want to get a little spoilery, the sort of if you recall in the sequel trilogy where Palpatine says something to the effect of like, all of the Sith are in me, that also starts with Darth Bane, to where there's, well, anyways, you should read the books, but yeah, it's pretty epic. Darth Bane's badass, and he is the Sith that happened to be in my Sith holocron that Marcus got me from Galaxy's Edge and Disney. So anywho, Darth Bane's my
Marcus,
favorite.
you got a bunch of nifty gifties.
Yeah, so I've said it before on stream and this. So like out of like the 30 items that I bought at Galaxy's Edge, only 2 of them are for me.
Yeah.
Everything else is all for my
very
friends.
selfless, dude. Yeah.
And I got hurt at work. So when I got hurt at work, it kind of just screwed up everything. And I've been so busy. Like, I just need to go to the post office and get all like if it fits, it ships boxes, just so I can just go there and ship everything out, because these items are just sitting in a bag underneath my desk. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I got to do it. Anyway.
I have the same problem. I have all these giveaway shirts. They're bagged and tagged. I just haven't lugged them to the post office.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough.
Yeah.
But it's so funny you talk about, the Emperor. For me, and I've said this a million times, so I won't go too deep. I like R2-D2. He's my favorite character.
That's your favorite character in all Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yep. R2-D2.
Wow.
Want me
I
to tell
think
you
that
what?
might be. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
He's always there for everybody. Doesn't worry about anybody. Himself. He always is there to help every single person he's around. He's in every movie, and in every movie he has a
Pretty pivotal role.
Everyone. Whether it's Attack of the Clones when they're on the elevator and he's got to deal with those 2 not destroyer droids, the battle droids, super battle droids. He's
one of his big moments.
Yeah, but like he finds a way. Or,
he's carrying the plans to the Death Star.
Or he goes and he's serving.
Man, I got the feels from that one.
Yeah, or he's on the sail barge. Little does everybody know he's got Luke's lightsaber.
Right.
Like everywhere R2 goes, he's there to help.
I've never thought of it on this angle. It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, he's my favorite character. Always been, always will be. Like, it was my dream come true to take my daughter when we were at Galaxy's Edge. Not this time, the last time. And we built droids, and I got to build my own R2 unit. It was like a dream come true for me.
Did you build him exactly like from the movie, or did you put your own spin on it?
I put my own spin on it.
Okay.
I did the square top instead of the round top, but yes, I built an R2 unit.
That's awesome.
Yes. But anyway, it's so, and this is what's amazing about Star Wars is everybody has their own feel. Like, I could give a shit about the Force. Like, the Force is cool, but the Force doesn't matter to me because that's not my Star Wars. You know what I mean? My Star Wars is R2-D2 and what he does. Or like one of my favorite books of all time, Star Wars books, is the original A New Hope, A Certain Point of View. It's 40 chapters of different stories of all the off characters in A New Hope. So I'll give you an example. One of them is R4, and you find out how his motivator blows.
Yeah, like the other astromech droid that
Yes.
Luke and
Yeah.
The Owen.
Or how about this? Or the bartender. Right? Like, you get his origin story, and like you feel for that dude. Like during that,
exchange where like
yes,
Obi-Wan
and,
chops
like,
the guy's arm
and
off.
it's so many different points, and they did a certain point of view. Empire Strikes Back. It was good, but like the chapters were like 48 minutes long, and it was like too drawn out. Like, they tried to like make their own, like the writers tried to make like their own stories for each of these characters. Where like it's not about that. It just gives small pieces, like 10 minutes, boom, give us the spice, and see you later. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
we were trying to pick your brain a little bit here at some point.
wow, that was awesome.
Speaking of which, what was the first video game that you ever played?
Oh my God.
You got to go way back in the file cabinet. Did we ever answer this ourselves, Marcus? What was the first game you ever played? Do you remember? It's hard, right? Like,
No, it's not. But it's not for me to answer.
I'm really pushing my face into my palm, like thinking about this. I would say probably Super Mario, like on Nintendo. I would say that's like my earliest memory of like sitting and playing a video game. Super Mario Brothers.
that makes sense. I don't
original Mario. Yeah.
I don't remember what mine was. Full disclosure.
I can tell you my first favorite game was GoldenEye 007 on
Ding,
N64.
ding, 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 ding.
That's the
ding,
one that
ding.
really brought our friends together, all sitting with the those stupid 3-prong controllers. Yeah. Oh
Exactly.
God. My friend had it, and we were partying a little bit, and I saw it was under his TV, and I was like, "Is that an N64?" It's like, "Tell me you have GoldenEye," and we were fucked up, and I was just like, "Please, for the nostalgia, let's do it."
Let's do it and be terrible.
Yeah, I put that controller in my hand. It was so foreign to me, and to think that I played on that for hours a day.
Exactly.
That is the one game. If somebody ever asked me what's the one game you want remastered, it would be that.
Yeah. And people tell me, they're like, "Oh, it kind of has been. There's mods out." And I'm like, no. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean a fully flushed HD crispy take on that game. Like,
yeah,
I think I would
Pierce Brosnan holding the golden gun.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I want to see every pore in Pierce Brosnan's handsome face.
Right.
He's still my. I get slack for this, guys, and here's a little bit of a hot take. He's my favorite Bond, but I grew up with him.
Yeah,
so.
Me too.
I have no disrespect to Mr. Connery. I think he's amazing, but I don't know. Pierce Brosnan has a special place.
No, I can respect that a lot. I like I don't know the order because I haven't thought about it until right this second. But Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, and Daniel Craig are like the three that come to mind as like
I'll agree.
The big three. Like those are the three that you can argue with. But what was your first gaming system that you remember owning?
Nintendo, but I found my dad's Atari in my attic when I was little, and we fired that up, and I played that too. But the first one I owned, and me and my brother, was Nintendo. But my dad had an Atari. I remember finding it. Yeah.
What do you remember which Atari it was? Just one of the old like wood grain ones?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you which one.
I don't remember any of them either.
Yeah, I just remember just being fascinated that I found it. It had those like ping pongy type games on it.
Of course,
tell you the names, but
literally Pong.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the name.
Boop, boop. What? Last frivolous question before we do the deep dive. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? If you had to pick, maybe some honorable mentions.
You like anything cake batter? I'm a big cake batter guy.
Do you like the chunks of cake batter in there?
Yes, absolutely. I won't get it unless it has chunks in it.
Marcus is gagging over here.
Sorry, dude.
He doesn't
It's
like.
okay. Listen, this is what's awesome about ice cream as well. There's so many flavors. Everybody can be happy.
Yeah, like you're R2 and I'm Palpy. You don't like any cookie dough or cake batter. That's okay.
Oh no, cookie dough.
Cookie? You don't like cookie dough, dude?
Dude, it's raw cookies.
It's great.
Wow.
No,
give me the salmonella.
Cook it.
That's what I want.
Cook the cookie, then put it in the ice
If I'm not having diarrhea, I didn't do ice cream right. Okay.
Bullseye.
Well, you're gonna hate we have a ice cream spot in our neighborhood here in New York, and it's like award winning, and like people travel to come to it, and it's like right near us. And my favorite flavor there is called Cookie Monster, and it's cookie dough, Oreos, all swirled in vanilla, and then I get them in a waffle cone with Rice Krispies marshmallowed on the outer edges of the waffle cone.
Oh my God.
It's diabetes in one hand, but it is absolutely. And I'm not even a sweet tooth guy, but it is knock you on your ass good.
But if you're gonna do ice cream, I'm a go big or go home kind of guy. Like if you're gonna do something unhealthy, like fucking do it the way you want it. Get all the things. Get the Rice Krispies on the outside. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm in, 100%. What I was gonna say is the vanilla ice cream dyed blue for Cookie Monster?
It is not.
I feel like there's a missed opportunity there. But you don't. But they're the ones winning the awards. So who am I to say about?
Let the experts handle it, I guess.
Right.
But the cones are great. They have the Fruit Loops and everything else. I get Fruit Loops sometimes, but the Rice Krispie treats are so good.
Wait a minute. They have Fruit Loops ice cream cones?
Well, it's a fruit. Yeah. So it's they use like this icing that sticks it to this huge waffle cone. So it's a lot of cereal that's all in this waffle cone, because the waffle cone is not your little rinky dink one you get from the cabinet. It's huge. And So there's this white frosting, and it hardens the cereal to the outside of this waffle cone. And they do Fruit Loops, they do like Cocoa Pebbles. But and the funny thing is, I used to always order Fruit Loops, and they screwed up. I got it delivered one time, and they screwed up and gave me the Rice Krispies, and it became my favorite. I never ordered Fruit Loops again after that. It was so good.
That's awesome. I love those serendipitous mistakes.
Yeah. New favorite.
I have one more frivolous question.
Go ahead.
I love the frivolous ones.
Yeah, but it's the most important fucking question on the planet.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza or no pineapple?
I'm going to preface this with saying I haven't had pineapple on pizza in years, but the last pizza I had was a few days ago, and it did have pineapple on it. I didn't order it. It was already ordered, but it was Hawaiian because I'll never eat just pineapple on a pizza, but there was ham.
Yes.
I'm talking about thick, well-cooked chunks of ham spread all over it with pineapple. And I'll tell you what, I put a little bit of green Tabasco to do the spicy, sweet, and salty. And listen, I'm not going to order it again probably for a year, or I didn't order it. I'm not going to eat it again for another year. Like, we never normally order that, but sometimes you got to switch it up. And I'm not going to lie, it was pretty good.
Fucking right it is. It's my favorite.
I'm so disappointed in both of you.
Fuck off, Nick.
Listen, I'm Italian. I live in New York City, and
they have the worst pizza ever.
You better watch your mouth, sir. You better watch it. So I will go with because you went to like fucking Sbarro's when you were. I'll take you to a real place. All right, next time you're here in the city.
Oh my god!
But listen, dude, there's nothing better than
you fold them all in half. It's all the same. It's basically Sbarro Junior or Senior.
No, it wasn't a Sbarro's, dude. I was walking down the street.
We went to $1 freaking slice.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. with my wife. It was fucking New York pizza, and I ate half of it. And
pizza parlor that's open 24 hours and bought a slice for $1. That's not a fair representation of a New York pizza, dude.
I know, but we can still talk shit about it.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing better than a plain slice from one of the primo spots.
I think it's a style thing. I can appreciate a New York slice for what it is, but it's just not my favorite style of pizza.
The best pizza is the Greek pizza.
Okay, you know what? You're onto something. Greek pizza is bomb. It's super thick crust. It's wicked buttery because they bake it in like a sheet pan. Yes. So like the crust, like it's almost like it's like a halfway between regular pizza and a deep dish, and it's ultra buttery. So it's like almost caramelized on the outside of the crust. It's great, but that's a different style that nobody knows about besides Marcus and I. So in video game news, which games are you currently playing?
On stream, Battlefront 2. Off stream, Dread Hunger.
Wait. You are playing another game, and it's your Cozy Fridays with Chronic.
Oh, yeah. So now that we're partner, and I don't feel like I'm kind of pigeonholed into playing one game all the time, which Marcus alluded to earlier when he was talking about variety. It's just the honest truth that variety games are just harder to grow in, and props to streamers who stream variety and are successful with it, because 100%. It is hard. It is harder to gain regulars in your chat when you're switching up your content nonstop. If you're playing Battlefront every week, every day of every week of every month, you're going to cultivate Star Wars fans that come and know you as a guy that is into Star Wars, which is kind of how I built myself on Twitch. But if I just suddenly 1 week in the middle of pushing for partner, just spontaneously started to play Warzone or Apex, it would have crushed my channel. And everybody goes through it. Nobody's immune to this unless you're like the biggest streamers in the world, like an XQC or Tim the Tatman or something like that. Every streamer is going to take a step back to mix other games in. Nobody switches from a main game and retains everybody. It doesn't work like that. It's just how the business is, and you can hate it, you can not, but at this point it's just like you got to strategize around that. And finally, now that I'm partner, I can take more risks, and I can, I don't worry about viewership. I never cared about viewership. Marcus, you're just like me. I don't watch my view count, and I hated that when I knew I was near partner. I had to have it on though, because you need to gauge where your stream's at, because average is everything when you're pushing for partner. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about how many subscribers you have. They don't care about to a little extent, I guess they care about maybe the quality content you put out, but I'm not even sure that's high on their priority. The number one thing Twitch cares about when they review your partner application is your average viewership. So I had to go from a streamer who always had it off and never cared about it to suddenly having to care about it. And I hated it. Looking at that freaking number and wondering, oh, am I saying something wrong? Because people just, we just dropped 10 average, or you go up 30 average and you think you're doing something right. And the nature of the beast is that numbers fluctuate all the time. 10 people could have left because it's dinner time. But now you're taking it personally and you think, oh, well, what was I doing when they left? And I don't know, man, it just really plays with your psyche. And I don't think it's healthy for a lot of people to be staring at that and judging themselves off viewer count, because you can fall in a trap like that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm learning how to not care again, because I still look at it occasionally. I try to keep it off, but I can't help it, because humans are habitual. I got into not caring, and then suddenly it became the only thing I cared about, and now I have to not care about it again. But this freedom is allowing me to at least go to other games, because viewership is an indicator of making partner, because I've already made it, so I can leave it in the past. So Fridays, I came up with a theme of it's our cozy night. I have a very high energy, really community first, chat involved stream. It's really intense. I usually stream for only 3 to 4 hours because I go 100 miles an hour usually on the stream. Friday night, flipping the switch. I'm taking a risk, and I've been streaming the Telltale Walking Dead series, which is my favorite story game of all time. Clementine's story arc as a character is my favorite in any video game I've ever played. And I just love the Telltale artwork, how it's like the comic book style. And I love everything about those games. And I just started doing that a few weeks ago. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not lowballing this number either. I thought I was going to drop down to maybe 20 or 30 viewers for those nights, because it's not Star Wars. It's kind of, you sit and you watch it play out. You watch dialogue. It's cool because you can make important choices. And I poll chat on hey, who do we kill? Do we kill the girl who's a good shot, or do we kill the guy that kind of is lazy and he's not helping us out? And chat gets to decide who gets eaten and who we save. It's that kind of game. And I didn't think many people would be interested in it. It was I was calling it I'm taking a selfish day. I was I made partner. I can finally stream a game that I would be replaying again off stream. And I'm just absolutely shocked that so many people still show up. I think, we've been having about 60 plus people at these streams, which is kind of where I've been at with even Battlefront lately. It's just absolutely mind blowing to me, dude, that people support still like that.
It's because now I think they're at a point of, and this is bringing me back to playing one game. You build the community, and then once you hit your milestone, whatever it is, partner, affiliate, whatever you decide, I feel as if once that happens and you play a different game and your community is there, people may not stick around the whole stream like they did prior, but everybody is still going to pop in and say, hey, and no matter what you're playing, because it's more about you than it is about the game, right? When you're building your community, people are watching the game. And then as your community grows, they're watching you while you're playing the game, but more watching you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then as you make that transition and you have that established community, then you can branch out if you want to.
Correct. The biggest thing that I don't agree with, and this is not, I'm not shaming on anybody, is I don't like it when somebody just gives up on a game. Just one day they're just done and they never look back. Because for me, I'm you just gave up on your community. You know what I mean? And I it's hard for me to even think about doing that. That would be okay, tomorrow I'm going to start streaming Destiny 2. I'm never going back to SWOTOR.
Yeah, just unannounced.
Yes.
Yeah, that's rough.
You know what I mean? Or even announced. I feel like people chose you because of that. And obviously if something happens and you're just I can't play the game anymore, sure. But for me, it's they're there to see something, give it to them.
Right. Speaking of building communities and stuff, let's go way back a little bit. What made you first start streaming in the first place?
Oh, good question.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go from leaving the house to work to suddenly unemployed, and then I transitioned into working from home. I'm in hospitality management, and it's something where you need to be present, and that was like a really, it was first laid off, and then working from home, and like that balance, and I don't know, it just created a window of a lot of time in my day, and it was something I always wanted to do, and I had dabbled in it very like just firing up my Xbox and going live to one viewer, you know what I mean? Like I had just screwed around with it, and always had a somewhat little bit of an interest in it. And I missed acting too. I have a manager here in the city and an agency, and acting halted. So I did off-Broadway shows. I've done improv and plays. I did a play the summer before COVID hit. I did stunt work for The Dark Knight Rises when they were here.
Wow.
I played a Gotham City cop in that movie, and I traveled with them for 4 weeks. And I was gaining traction, and just nothing huge. You know what I mean? I wasn't replacing Christian Bale anytime soon, but I got little parts here and there, little humble beginnings for a young actor trying to make his way in the city, and I really enjoy entertainment. And suddenly, I had a void. I had a huge void in my life, and I went from auditioning and being around fellow entertainers to nothing. And I always loved video games. And I'm like, well, maybe I can marry the two while I'm doing nothing right now. And, I didn't start out with the stream I have now. I mean, I had the shittiest setup, and I was all over the place. I was variety. I didn't even know I was going to be a Star Wars channel. I like the name Director Chronic because I love the character Director Krennic, and I love Rogue One, and it was a fun play on that. And, go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like you're leaving out a key portion of the name. Well, the chronic part. I was trying to allude to weed.
Well, so now every time, but now every time I see the movie, I just call him Director Chronic.
Me too. And I just assume
he's no longer Krennic. He's just Chronic.
He's Director Chronic.
He's smoking the bong as his Imperial shuttle lands on Scarif.
Yeah, he's just
But I also like the stoner undertone to the name. Actually, that's how I got the name. I pulled up a Reddit article one day, and people were posting their favorite Star Wars weed names.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, dude, they had all the classics like Grand Moff Token, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And then I saw Director Chronic, and I was like, that is so perfect because I'm a Krennic fanboy, dude. I have like art like of him and Death Troopers like hanging up like in my setup. Like I'm just such a Krennic fanboy. And I saw that, and I was like, not many people like that character, like talk about him, so I knew it would be unique. So when I streamed, I remembered that Reddit post, so that's how I came up with the name. And then then COVID just created the window for me to hit go live for the first time. And like I said, I played Battlefront 2015. It was my favorite Star Wars game. I met a lot of people. It was my first time meeting small streamers, and connected into their stuff, but I wasn't streaming yet. And then finally Battlefront 2017 came out. And a few years into its existence is kind of when COVID struck. And then that's when I got a gaming PC. I had saved up for a gaming streaming PC and put money aside. And I finally splurged and got it. And then, the rest is history.
That's awesome.
I feel like COVID brought out a new generation of Twitch streamers for sure.
Agreed. People that who otherwise never would have started because they didn't have the time.
Correct.
COVID created the time for a lot of people.
Or if I did, I would have half-assed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I would not, because I treat nowadays it is a business, but I was like, oh, this is a hobby. I'm having fun. I remember, oh my God, dude. I remember when I started, and I finally met up with IRL friends in the city, when COVID was at its peak, all gun shy and wearing masks and the whole whatnot. I remember they were like, what have you been up to since we all don't work, anymore? And I was just like, started streaming, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, guys, but listen, I know you're rolling your eyes. I was like, but listen, I'm playing video games, and it's like, I just made $80. So I was like, I just paid my internet bill with playing games. And they were like, oh my God, wait, what? That's when they thought it was cool. Like, wait, you actually paid your internet bill with playing games? I'm like, yeah, I just paid $80 on it. And, fast forward to now, Twitch partner, and, I'm looking at doing this full time. It's just, I don't understand. It's crazy. I'm laughing because it's kind of comically insane to me that this has transpired. The journey has just been absolutely insane.
Right. It's crazy. What I thought of one more frivolous question before we dive into the stream team. So, are you more of an indica person or a sativa person?
Sativa. I like to be creative and have my energy.
That's fair. Marcus is exactly the same way.
Nice.
When I go,
I could tell by your voice you're maybe not.
Me? No, I am not.
No, so for me,
I'm an indica person.
Yeah, like I'll go in and be like, okay, I need crack. And they're like, you can't get that here. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say here.
Referring to the dispensary, by the way.
Yeah. I need the most energetic shit you get.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall asleep.
I'm like you, man. I like I don't smoke before or during streaming just because of how my content is.
Yeah,
high energy and stuff. But
of course.
But the days that I'm off and I need to be productive, dude, there's nothing better than like just toking up a cup of coffee and I get really productive. And I've had some of my best streaming ideas while high, like while just like partaking in a little bit of marijuana and I brainstorm and I feel like it really does help me concentrate. And I have natural anxiety and I'm naturally very high strung and like high energy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to like just be able to smoke and just like it helps me just like one track my mind. I don't know if this is making sense, but like it blocks the noise out and I can really zoom in on one thing. And some of the best stuff that I've done with my stream, like the absolute like greatest ideas that I have, the unique stuff that I bring to the table, I've done while like in the middle of a smoking session.
Yeah, you come up with them 100%. A lot of I mean, this is a little cliche to bring up, but Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. Like, hey, I like to smoke because it makes your mind go to places that you might be trying to avoid, or like it just unlocks a lot of different things.
Well, I like that.
And like a lot of people, like me included, right? Like I'm an indica person because of the anxiety paranoia portion of it. I like to not feel that because I have a lot of that at baseline. But what it does is a lot of what that anxiety or paranoia you could be feeling is like your brain like shining a light on and bringing to your active attention like things you've been trying to like avoid thinking about, like something that's bothering you, like something that's due, or just like something you don't like about yourself. A lot of times it'll like shine a light on that and bring it up, be like, hey, like, you know, whatever it is that's bothering you, like you were an asshole to that one person at one time. You're like, God damn it, yes I was, I should go apologize or something, whatever it may be, like something like that. So in the same sense, it can bring up things that you may not have thought about otherwise. It can be really, really helpful for creativity big time. So I absolutely get it. But yeah, for me, I'm definitely an indica person. I think anytime I consume any type of cannabis product, I am immediately unproductive afterwards because I'm either anxious because it's a sativa and I don't jive well with that, or and then I can't do anything else, or it's an indica, which I actually prefer, and then I'm just like sleepy and trying to relax. So all of my cannabis consumption is pretty much directly before bed, but I definitely enjoy it.
Same. Yeah.
Marcus?
Well, same for the before bed part, but I do not prefer indica because of the sleepiness. I like to
do a little something.
I like to put on tunes and vibe out and get my work done.
Totally get it.
Yeah, man.
So back at the ranch,
do you have a particular stream or stream moment that stands out to you as an amazing moment? Like anything. It could be anything from your stream year.
I mean, a lot of it's recent. A lot of it's very recent, and I could just go formation of the stream team. I didn't even know I wanted to do a stream team, and now I'm like so like bursting with pride and joy about it. And watching what you guys have done the first 2 days to have each other's back and immediately introduce yourselves and support each other if you didn't know who each other were. Like I didn't have to be like, all right, everybody, wear your name tags. I'm Director Chronic. Welcome to the stream team. Everybody look to your left. Like none of that. You guys just freaking did it. And really, that I don't know, man, that really hit me 2 nights ago. Really, really hit me. So that's one that just happened. And then the other one is, I wasn't live when I saw it. But Serpent was live. One of my best friends,
friend of the show.
When I got my Twitch partnership acceptance after, getting told to wait and declined a couple times. We got view botted during an application. That was definitely going to be accepted, and so a partnership got put off for 2 months. Man, they made me wait 2 more months to reapply and stuff. And we had a lot of momentum the first time, and I was like, can we keep this momentum? Will the community still be here to support me in 2 months? Like, did we miss our window for this? And self-doubt creeped in and anxiety creeped in. And then I was scared to stream because I was, now we know that the view botting stemmed from another toxic streamer in the community. So I was like, well, this was a targeted attack. This wasn't random. So it brought a lot of anxiety to streaming because I was scared to hit go live, because every time you get view botted, you have to wait 30 days after it happens. It kind of needs to clear the system. It needs to be off of your 30-day period that they look at before they approve you. And even if it happens for 10 minutes, even if you report it to them, it just throws the whole application out the window. So these are the trials and tribulations that I kind of went through dealing with this toxic community, and literally having people shoot. And the view botting happened a day before my application got reviewed. So literally it was like the day before I would have been accepted, and my leg got shot out from me, literally crossing the finish line. Like, I was at the finish line and somebody shot my leg. Like, if you're just picturing a marathon.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking, and it was emotional, and I was, distraught, and my friends were distraught, and Serpent was already a partner, and he was like pushing for me and rooting for me and doing everything he could to help me. And it just bummed us all out. And we were obviously angry as well. It was a mixed emotion. And so when I got that letter accepting me in, I stared at my phone, for a minute, because I had opened that email up before, and it's always been like bad news. Hey, we detected this view botting. Hey, we need to wait longer. We need to keep watching your channel. And, I was reading those replies, and then finally I opened it up, and it was the one that I've waited for and dreamed about but before I go to bed at night, it was like what I was like hoping would happen. And it finally happened. And I ran in and showed my girlfriend, and like, I didn't even say anything. I just showed her my phone, and she jolted out of the chair, and we hugged. And her sister was over, and she knows how hard I was working, and she jumped up, and we all hugged. And it was just a really good moment. I remember Serp was going live, and I remember I went in his chat, and we share a community. Like, a lot of his viewers are in my stream. Marcus, you're well aware. I went in Serp's chat, and I didn't activate the check mark, like the verified badge that you get once you're Twitch partner. And I remember I went in his stream as he was starting, and I was like, "Hey man, I was like, it's really cool. I got a new badge today." And he was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And then I enabled it and like donated bits and just said hi. And he like cried on stream and like changed, because this is like a journey we both went through together.
Sure.
And I finally got it, and he got emotional. He even had to like go off camera, and everybody in chat was congratulating me, and I got emotional at my keyboard. Even though you asked me streaming moment, this is as close to a streaming moment that will live in my mind forever. And I have it on Serp's VOD now. You know what I mean? He saved the footage and everything, and I'll never forget that day ever in my whole life. I'll never forget. Even if not streaming in a year from now, it was still just too sweet of a moment to ever forget it.
Sure.
It's an incredible moment.
Oh, that was fucking.
And to share it with somebody else, dude. It wasn't like I just, yeah, cool. And like, there was like sharing it with other people. Like they accomplished it with me. That was where the emotion kicks in. That's when I get emotional. Even right now, thinking back to it, is just like, dude, it meant so much to so many people. And it almost felt like it meant more to my friends than it did to me. And that's powerful, dude.
It's wicked powerful, knowing that like other people care so much about that achievement. It's not just an individual achievement. It's like a community and like a tribe, almost like a people having your back achievement.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of, I didn't mean to segue that, but I guess it kind of worked out nicely. So speaking of people having your back and making a tribe, what made you decide, or what was motivating you to create a Twitch streaming team?
I wasn't going to originally. I thought that I would eventually. And I just thought it would be me and like a couple friends, because I was already a member of the Guardians of the Order, and I still am. And I was helping oversee Vader's Fist, these are both Serpent. Serpent is the creator of them. I still wanted to have my loyalty to them, and I had pledged that I would, help grow those teams and everything. But, when you're Twitch partner, you get the opportunity to have your own thing too. And I waited. I didn't do it right away. I mean, it just happened this week, and I've been, like I said earlier, like I've been partnered for, a month and a half now, I think. So I didn't do it right away. Most people do it right away. They're so eager, and it is a fun thing, and most people should do it right away. It's a great tool to have. That's one of the perks of partnership. And I think I finally got to the point where I was like, I was meeting other content creators that were out of Battlefront 2, and were even out of Star Wars. And the game that I'm loving right now is a little indie game called Dread Hunger, and it's like a social deception game, like Among Us, but way better done. And I started meeting people through playing that, and they streamed, and then it dawned on me, I'm like, I have friends that are like outside of my normal community, and I would love to mix this all together. And I say it in my stream all the time. I don't know why I love this analogy. But I love the analogy of that. Like, I'm like the straw that just stirs the drink. Like, I'm not an ingredient in it. I like being the one that mixes things up and mixes good things together. Maybe it's the bartender in me coming out. I don't know, because that's what I used to do in the city before streaming. And man, oh man, like, I'm so glad I did it. And I just really wanted to get everybody introduced, like SWO people with Battlefront people, with arts and crafts people, with 3D printing people, with social deception game people, with Apex people, with Battle Royale. And, it was a medley of different people. And it was only after I talked to Marcus, I don't want to give him too much credit because I don't want to inflate his ego over here.
I don't have an ego.
Sorry. I know. Well, I'll let Nick answer.
No, I definitely don't.
I'm just kidding. No, you're the most selfless person I think I've ever met. So this is totally.
No, I definitely don't have an ego.
A joking
no,
asshole.
that is a lie. I have an ego with my cabinets.
I was going to say,
I build a dope ass cabinet.
Yes, you do. But also, you have an ego in that you're very confident in yourself, but then you're not selfish in the sense of like, you want everything for you. You do a lot. You're confident in yourself, so you have an ego for there, but then you give a lot to your friends and things like that. You're selfless in that respect.
Okay.
That's all.
And he nudged me, and he was like, "Yo, Chronic, what's up with the stream team?" Like he said earlier, like he just barged into my DMs. Yo, what the hell's up with the stream team? I don't know, man. I was like, I like the name the Garrison. I've met enough content creators that are out, because I didn't want to duplicate what my friend just did. I didn't want to carbon copy his stream team, because that didn't sit well with me. Because I know everybody that's in the stream teams I'm in already, but that didn't seem right that I would create a stream team and just go down his roster and invite everybody. Like, I wanted it to be a different thing. Now, did I invite people from those teams? Of course I did, because I've been friends with them for a very long time. And I was friends with them before they were ever even introduced to those stream teams. So of course they're going to be a part of mine. And I talked to Serpent, and we're so transparent with each other about everything. And he, I had his blessing, of course, to invite the people that I did. But I wanted to wait for that moment where I knew other people, and I finally felt like I did. And then when Marcus nudged me, last week when he messaged me about it, and then the guy relinquished the name. I don't know where I even thought this to myself. Like, when I was randomly doing something in the kitchen the other day, I was like, I really went full speed with it. Like, Marcus, how soon after we talked was everything done?
A week.
Like, where did that come from? Like, it went from low priority to no priority into that's all I cared about.
Well, I feel like when you, or anybody, right, Nick, when somebody gets something in their mind, like, if it's there, it's in there somewhere, right? But you're like, I'm just moving along, and then somebody asks you a question. Because for me, I asked you because I was like, all right, well, you've been doing the partnership thing for a little bit. Where's the team? And I actually, I thought you were going to say, not right now. I don't have time for it. You know what I mean? And you kind of
was my answer before.
Correct. Yeah, it was. And then I didn't hear anything about it for a while, and I'm like, whatever. And then you messaged me about how the name wasn't available, and immediately the business Marcus was like, well, how do we get that name available? Right?
It's like, it's only money. And it ended up not being money, but
no, but
thank God,
yeah, but
he was very kind.
No, but it's the truth, right? So for me, it's just like, once you get something in your head, you run. Just like anything else. You really want an Elgato key light. You're going to do whatever it takes for you to get yourself an Elgato key light.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all of those things just happen. And which brings me to the two final questions. what made you pick the people that you did for the Garrison stream team?
I think we hinted at it a little earlier, but I can dive in a little bit more. But I wanted variety. I wanted variety and I wanted diversity. And I'm not just talking of people, but of content. And the people happened along with it, which is great. And I wanted people of all stages within streaming. And I had like some friends that have been in single digit viewers for a while that didn't capitalize on networking or doing the things that I did that I found success in. And I noticed that they were lacking that quality because I look at their streams and I'm like, your gameplay is good. Your personality is good. You're very welcoming and you're very charming, and yet you're not growing, kind of thing. And I was like, I knew that I wanted to bring my friends in, and I knew I wanted to and I didn't just bring them in and say, good luck. I brought them in and said, and this is what I told them. And I was like, I was very upfront. Marcus, I'm a very upfront guy, and I speak bluntly and I speak from the heart. And I always try to keep everything, very, very upfront with people. And I said, you guys are kind of the smaller streamers on the team. Like, you guys have a lot of growing to do, and you have a lot of work to do. And if you're going to accept this invite, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to leave your comfort zone. You're going to have to go to other streamers' streams. You're going to have to introduce yourself to the stream team members, and you're going to have to leave the nest and go branch out. And, without a doubt, they were like gung ho about it. And I think a lot of people don't realize the networking and friendship part of streaming that is so big, and especially for newer streamers. And, eventually, I think you have to worry about that less and less, but that's what breaks people from the herd. That breaks people out of the, 2 million people who are live streaming at this very moment. Why 98% of them are in single digit viewers or under 100 or whatever the stat may be, is because, they're not doing the right things as far as networking and putting time in to focus in on that. And the stream team was an opportunity to lift them up. And then on the opposite end, reaching out to people that are doing very well for themselves, that are either on the verge of partnership or are already a partner. Chris Perillo, I just met him. Chris Perillo I met a month and a half ago, I think. And he's a partner, and he doesn't play video games. He does 3D printing, but I found his content so interesting, so different. But he's already a partner. He's one of the biggest Star Wars YouTubers out there. His social media is insane. He's literally like an icon within his field. And no offense to anybody else, I was the most nervous asking him to come onto the team, because, and the way I phrased it to him was different than anybody else I messaged, because I was like, I know this is a long shot and he already has his own stream team, but I was like, is there any chance that you would be interested in at least joining my team? I was like, you don't even have to show it on your stream. You don't have to switch off of your team. You can, I would just really enjoy having a veteran presence on it. I think it would really help a lot of people, because I look up to this guy and he's been doing this content creation thing a lot longer than me. So I asked people who I consider way above me and have a grasp on different areas like YouTube that I'm just breaking into and stuff like that. And that's a person and a commodity and a wealth of knowledge and information that can help everybody on the team. And boy, oh boy, when he messaged me back and said he was in, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, it knocked me. And then you fill in from between that down to the people that are either just starting or are very low on the growth totem pole, and then we flushed it out with everybody in between, from a diversity of different games, content creation, personality types, and that's how the pot got made.
Damn.
Sorry, that was a really long-winded reply.
No, it's completely cool.
It doesn't. Yeah, we like the long-winded replies.
Yeah, because it's genuine.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No.
You're the guest on the show. We want to hear you talk.
Thanks. So, I just need to shout out something. Mac Daddy, member of the Garrison, has 119 people watching it for his first affiliate stream right now.
Wow.
119?
Yes.
Who did he get hit with a huge raid
He
or
must
something?
have.
I would imagine. Yeah.
But
That's insane.
Yeah.
Great. Good for him.
fantastic. Congratulations, buddy.
Pump it up.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yes. It's good. I think it's fantastic. Myself personally, I want to support everybody, so I do understand what you're saying. Like on my off-stream nights, I'll have 9 Twitch channels open.
Oh yeah, the tab life.
The tab life, yeah. And just trying to like,
We all know it.
yeah, and just because everybody I care about, I want to make sure I stop by and say hi. Even if it's just, hey, how are you? Good, good. And then I'm off playing my own video game, and you know what I mean? But just knowing that I stopped by, like, I want to make sure I do that to the people I care about.
And it means the world to those people.
Yes. We're all busy. Everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely. So, hey, what does the Garrison name mean to you? Or I suppose maybe where did the Garrison come from?
Well, definitely it ties into Krennic and Rogue One, deploy the Garrison, which is memed all the time now within Star Wars.
Yes.
But, are we blind? Deploy the Garrison. So we lean into that. We deploy everything. We deployed our merch store. We deployed their stream team. We just deploy, that's our thing. So our channel centered around the backdrop of Scarif and Rogue One. And it was seamless. I called my community the Garrison all the time. I hate saying the word viewers or, I say chat sometimes, but I don't like calling chat. I do it. I don't mind it. I don't think it's weird, but I don't know. I just got so accustomed to just saying, hey, Garrison. It was just the noun I used for the entire embodiment of the community. And when I got the stream team named the Garrison, it was just perfect, man. I already had a beautiful logo of, our artistic take on the Citadel on Scarif with a TIE striker swooping in the background. And it was our Discord server, and it represented the community. And now it represents 30 communities and 30 content creators. And I took pride in that logo before, just representing my community. And when I tell you, I mean, that logo now means so much more, and it represents so many people. And I take a lot of pride and respect in that. And that's where the origins came from. It's always been my community name, and now it's the stream team name as well.
It's humbling to hear where that comes from, because, nobody, if somebody's listening to this and never heard of you before, you know what I mean? Like that right there may make them come check out your channel, right? And make them go, oh my God, I want to check this out, But it's the magic of it. And I personally love an origin story. I believe everybody deserves one.
Mm-hmm.
And this was yours. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Twitch.tv/Director Chronic.
And
CHRONIC.
And is it the same name on all the socials?
It is. Only one that's not is TikTok. I guess a zealous fan grabbed it on that one because I was late to the TikTok game. So somebody grabbed it way after I streamed. So I think it's Director Chronic TV on TikTok. But yeah, on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And if you guys are on Twitch, make sure to join the Discord too. There's a panel on the home page, and we'd love to have you in the community. That way you can say hi even when we're offline.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.